Ta-da! There we are. Look at that. Look how smooth is that? I was actually on time for a change as well. That's amazing, isn't it? Eh? It's just amazing. I'm going to try and stick to a script. It's that time of year. My scarf's come back. Look at that. Hey, you'll see me now with my scarf on all the time because I'm a bit weak like that. I'm talking tonight about, what am I talking about tonight? Nothing exciting. My whingy week. Let's have a think about my week. I got a letter from Greenwich Council, right? This is off topic, by the way. I got a letter from Greenwich Council, and turns out that for those that don't know, and a little bit of confessions for hearing me tonight. I think for those that don't know, I don't pay council tax because of my rent and stuff. It's how it's worked. And I got a letter from the council tax, Greenwich Council the other week, and I was like, oh, what's this about? The other day actually, and I apparently have to pay like, what was it, £182, £182 council tax. I was like, what? No, that can't be right. No, not for the size of no. So I called them up. And said, you have to, because you've got shower, blah, blah. I said, all right, that's not your fault then. So I went to the landlord and I said, you've missold me. You missold me, blah, blah, blah. Funny enough, I said, do you know what? I said to the not landlord, the letting agency, the management people. I said, oh, I'm going to pay you rent this month, but I'm going to pay it less the council tax that I've got to pay. And they were like, what? Well, you can't do that. Why can't I do that? Well, because it means we'll be short. All right, so you can't be short as the big person over there, but I have to be short. Okay, I have to be short. I'm the one that has to be short. Okay, fine. So now we've got that covered. I said, I'm still going to pay you less your council tax, which is £182. He was like, okay, £182 less. It didn't. He said, as long as you pay it when we get it all sorted, we'll get it. I said, fine, I'll pay it when we get it all sorted. Then today I get another letter from the council. It's suddenly magically gone up to £220. I'm like, what the falafels? What the falafels indeed. I just don't know. It's frustrating. It's more than anything else, frustrating. Anyway, adulthood, right? Adulthood. Now, I've not been spending too long doing this because I've been busy typing and doing stuff and fixing things and whatnot. But adulthood got me thinking. I mean, this week's, this whole week has got me thinking, right? I mean, anyone who knows me, and there's probably people who think they know me, and there's people who know me, and there's people who know versions of me. And I was thinking this, like, there's people who I grew up with who they know the younger me, they know the younger version of me. They don't know me today me. And I'm like, okay, that's quite deep, Jason. It's not often you think like that. I actually do think like that quite a lot. I just don't let myself know it. So I was like, oh, okay. So they know versions of you. So where's that version of you now, Jason? Well, it's still in there somewhere, but it's just where, who knows? It's part of me. I've stayed the same. I think I've stayed the same all these years. I'm still 19 in my head, which brings me on to the next point. I act like I'm 19. Well, of course I do, because I'm just a big kid. Adulthood, I behave like a child sometimes, but I'm also quite wise as well. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, who knows? But then I think we've all got our flaws, and I think we've all got our demons, and we've all got our, like, what do you say? Things about us we don't like, and things about us other people don't like. And that for me is huge, because I spent my again for those that don't know, and none of you do, and there's some of you that do know a little bit, and there's some of you don't know a lot, and there's some of you that think you know, you don't know nothing, and or some of you that think an old version of me, and that's that. But the reality, for those that do know, the people from Mildenhall and how I grew up and things, I grew up pretty fucking. I wouldn't change it for the world, but I grew up in a pretty shit environment, to be honest. And it wouldn't be allowed in today's world, that's for sure, because the world has moved on and society's changed and things have developed and blah blah blah. I say that quite a lot, don't I? Blah blah blah. But yeah, so there's that. So my childhood exists because of, well, I suppose my dad's semen. To be honest with you, I was the one fortunate enough to break in through that egg. Get it? Ovary, whatever it is, how you do it. I don't remember biology at school. I don't remember that much. But ultimately, what got me thinking even more is onto that is like I was strong enough to get through there. So I'm the sperm. I'm the chosen sperm. But then I've got brothers and everything as well, and we're all different, and we've all got different personalities. And I moved away from my whole lot of them. I moved away from everyone. Now you've got to think, right? I moved away. I'm a council estate kid. I've been working pretty much since I was in year 10, probably before that, year 9. No, it was in year 10 because I was in Kegs. I was in Kegs, Cambridge. Every Friday morning before school, 4 o'clock in the morning, be down to town, setting up the market, and we'd get paid 30 quid cash in hand for that on the Friday evening. Then we'd go and get drunk down the youth club, and then I'd get carried home or be sick in the graveyard or fall asleep in the graveyard, something crazy like that. But that was then, right? And that's what was I, year 9, year 10. So I was just doing my GCSEs and whatnot. But the reason I was able to get away with that and probably behave as badly as what I did is because of the fact that, let's be honest, I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a dad. My dad wasn't sort of there. We took advantage of that big time as boys. We definitely did. And I started having to work because my mum would break down and blah, blah, blah. But then off the back of that, that's what taught me that's what got me talking to other people. Now there's people that I grew up with, and I won't mention their names because I don't know if they want to be associated with me or not. I don't really care if they do or don't, but that's part they played. I think they do. I think because they played a massive part in my sort of childhood and whatnot, and influencing me because again, I didn't have a father, I didn't have a role model, I didn't have someone to aspire to be other than what was it, Liam Gallagher. Yeah, that's it. And you wonder how that worked out for you, Jason. I wonder how that worked out for you. Yeah, how did that work out? It worked out all right actually, because look at the hair. But yeah, so that's probably what my father figure was probably Liam Gallagher, right? So if you think about it, then that gave me confidence, right? It gave me confidence on the persona. But no one really knew like an armadillo, crunchy on the outside and soft in the middle, right? And that's got its own fuck ups and mishaps when you're like that anyway. So I then moved away from, I was like 17, 18. I moved away from where I grew up, and I went to Chichester. And I can't see any comments right now, but if they are being made, I apologise if I'm not getting them. March on Westminster was notified almost immediately. Oh, removed. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Apologies if that's upset anybody. I don't know. But yeah, so I moved away, and you got to think I moved away not knowing how to be as a human being. Right? I didn't have a dad to save. I had Liam Gallagher as my role model, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take on the world with this because I felt invincible. And I think the only time in my life that I've never felt invincible was when I thought I had testicular cancer. That was the time that sort of gave me a reality check as well, to be honest, because we're not invincible, and we do have to enjoy each day and sort of try and be nice to people and that sort of thing. Yeah. Now I'm going to get onto adulthood in a minute, but this is the back. You've got to think that my adulthood is different to your adulthood, which is different to your next door neighbour's adulthood, which is different to everybody, because everybody is different and everybody is unique and everyone is special and everyone has love. That's going to get me onto that in a second. I've got notes. See, I've actually got notes. So that's there, right? So Liam Gallagher is my role model with my dad, so to speak. My dad. Yeah, he's my role model, so he's my fatherly figure. So that's given me my attitude, that's given me my persona, that's given me probably why people hate me so much or don't like me so much, because they know that version of me, because that's what I want them to know of me. I don't want anyone else. I mean, I don't trust anyone. I trust very few people. Yeah, and I think that's really important as part of adulthood, because we're all adults apparently. Yeah, but we've all been influenced in a different type of way. So some of us have gone from really happy families and mum and dad together, still together now, they're probably going to die together, and everything's wonderful. Yeah, and then when you're going to go off and you're going to be wonderful, or you're going to be a dick, or you're going to be whatever. Yeah, but we've all been influenced to be how we are, and being how we are is what we are as adults. Because what am I, 40? Well, I'm 41 or 42. I can't remember. I don't remember being born. But it's all a bit of a blur, like, being born. It's a bit like between 1994 and 2001. It's a bit of a blur for me as well. But that's a different story. It wasn't because I was being born. I was being reborn. Oh, just imagine I like that. Being reborn. Yeah. So from there, you've got to think. So we're now in the world where I don't really. I'm in South London, and do I have friends? I think I do. Do I have friends that I see a lot? No. Do I have friends that I speak to a lot? Yes. But then have I seen these friends that I speak to a lot? No. Right? It's an online community, basically, is what it is. But we're going to get onto that in a minute. I keep dropping little things. I'm getting ahead of myself, so forgive me. So personality types and adulthood, right? So different types of people make different. I don't know if you. Oh, I'm still there. That's good. So different types of people. That has got me thinking, right? Because I'm like, what the falafels? I mean, there's different types. What is how are we? So how are we that way we are supposed to be, and all that sort of stuff, right? So I think asked Google, and I can't remember what the question I asked it now because I've lost it, and I did have it saved, so I'm gonna have to search it again because it's just, it was my sort of go-to thing, Bitty Bob, and it's not there anymore. So I'll just bear with me. I would know. I would have a side act, and I've got on that front screen. For those that tuned in actually just to see Vicky, I do apologise. She's not here. I just have a chance to change the artwork and there's nothing wrong with her name being on there anyway. Sort of adds a little bit of panache to it. What was the question I asked it? I can't remember. But basically, this is a killer. So basically, right off the back of that, you've got to think. I'm sure I've got it open somewhere. Got it up or down or something somewhere. Go. Oh, there we are. Got it. Found it. There we are. Found it. Right. So, okay. So this is adulthood for you, right? I knew I had this plan somewhere. Vicky want me to be prepared. This is as prepared as I've been in any of my lives ever. But this is adulthood, right? So this has come from the psychological dictionary. That's a dictionary for psychological people, right? Adulthood, the time frame of growth when physical maturation has been attained, and specific biologic, mental, cultural, individual characteristics, and various other developments concerned with getting older have taken place starting post-adolescence. This period of time is grouped into categories by age, from young adulthood, which is generally considered between ages 19 to 45. So I'm in young adulthood. I'm still a baby adult. And that's why I can get away with behaving the way I behave, because I'm still 19 forever. And that's when it starts, 19 to 45. We've got that, right? And I only learned about this afternoon, so this is not bad for me. Right? Middle adulthood is between 45 and 60. That's when you're middle-aged. So I'm thinking to myself, that's when you're middle-aged. You're a middle-aged old man. That means they knew all this time that 45 or over meant you were middle adulthood. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Middle adulthood. I'm like, well, but then you've got your later years. Obviously, that's when you're 60 and gone, and you're past and beyond it. When you're old. So I've still got, what, 15 years left? 20 years left in me, if that? Never might have a little bit more. But that's middle, and then you've got adulthood. So adulthood. Most adolescents go through the phase when they're youth in which they are eager to enter adulthood. No, you don't. If there's a child watching this now, do not turn into a grown-up. Stay young forever. It's good for your skin, and it's good for your soul. But yeah, so do not grow up, young people. No, do grow up. And that got me thinking, like, so we're all adults, and adulthood is what we are, and then we teach our children. And don't get me wrong, I'm sitting here, I'm no god, yeah, and those who know me know I'm not a god, know that I've got my flaws, and I'll be the first to say that I'm a dick when I'm a dick, and I'll be the first to say that, yeah, I get people don't like me, and I understand the reasons why. So I'm not sitting here preaching, oh, this is what we should be like. No, I'm pretty much saying what my philosophy is and what I think and how I've got to my point where I am at today and who I am today. And I know very much clearly who I am. I think there's a lot of people who probably don't know who they are fully. And I think that's why I'm quite cool with sitting here in front of a camera talking to myself, because I'm quite comfortable being uncomfortable. So I think another reason for that would be, and this digressing again, another reason for that would be because I've spent my whole life people fucking judging me. People, cancer state kids going to school, brothers fucking. I didn't realise my family was so fucked up, and people knew it before I did. Obviously, I'm old because people in towns and pubs know each other. And so my parents were probably in pubs or whatever when they were younger, I'd assume. I don't know. And then they're all talking like a community about them, and their kids are going to school and blah blah. And I was wearing hand-me-downs, let's be honest, and I was wearing fucking massive hand-me-downs on shit, even though I was the second oldest. So they were quite good condition still, to be honest. They were. But people knew us. People knew we weren't that well off, and people took the piss out of me because of it. Or people took the mick out of me. I don't know what they did, my brothers and whatnot. To be honest with you, I don't really care. But at the same point, I managed. I was fine with it all. I managed to turn all the fucking negative people who would slag me off, or look at this smelly boy over there. I didn't realize what they were talking about at the time. I couldn't speak. I was joking. I'm joking. But I took it all. I took it all in the chin. I took it all. And that's what's maybe who I am today, because now people can say what they like about me, however they like about me, and I really don't care. And there's people watching this now thinking, oh my God, there's that fucking dick. He's doing a live again. Who the fuck does he think he is? Liam Gallagher wannabe. What do you want to fucking do? Was he fucking sideburns? Fucking make me laugh. Come on, I don't care. I'm comfortable with it. I'm cool with who I am and what I am. And there's people who are going to be slagging me off because they think they know me and they don't. And there's people, the best people who slag me off are the people who don't even know me and haven't got the nerve to come and get to know me. They're the best ones. Now, I'll give you an example here, right? I've got a neighbour down that way. And when I first moved in here, he kicked off at me. And we walk past each other, we acknowledge each other, and we respect each other in terms of we don't get in each other's way. That's fine. But then the other night, he started talking to me outside, smoking a cigarette. And next thing you know, we're talking more often now. And it's like, that's not holding grudges. That's just someone, I've done something to piss him off that day. And wrongly, it might be wrongly, piss him off. Not wrongly, I didn't intentionally do it. He got a bit sensitive. But ultimately, we moved on, but we respected each other for it. I think that's because we sort of live next to each other, because we have to walk past each other, and that's what you have to do. Anyway, I'm digressing, but bear that in mind when I'm coming on to my next bit, right? So adulthood. People slagging people off. People not respecting people. We are teaching our children. We teach our children. That's what I'm saying. So we're going back to the start now. Where I'm at today is what I was and what I've experienced when I was younger, growing up. I'm not perfect. I am a fool. I'm a clown. I'm a big childish kid, but I'm also very, very serious and loyal and sensitive, and the rest of everything else I am. But at the same point, I'm a bit of a kid. You can't change who you are because you are who you are. But then you need to be happy and confident that you are who you are. When you've got people hating on you, and in our little clan, in the world that I'm in, father's rights world or whatever it is, it's family law world now. I've probably changed it from being father's rights to being family law more orientated now, because it just involves everything to do with society. And I think no matter how you look at it, no matter how you slice it, it is society. I suppose I'm fascinated with people's personalities and how they are and what they are. And I can read people. I can read personalities, and I can read body language. And I can read when people don't like me. I know when people are talking about me behind my back. I know I can do it. I don't know why. It's just like a skill set. It's something I've got, and that doesn't bother me. That when people are, I get a bit disheartened by it. And I get when you put your trust in people. And I can give you an example now. For example, there's someone that I put a little bit of trust in. Yeah, I said, "Look, come in." They were a Mackenzie friend and wanted to come into the group. And I said, "All right, come in." They did everything properly. I said, "Oh, it's the first time someone's being sort of open and honest." I was like, "I respect that." I said, "Yeah, come on, crack on, do what you need to do." But there could be a conflict of interest. So I'm letting you know now. This is one of the first conversations I had with her. Letting you know now, there could potentially be a conflict of interest because you do what you do and I do what I do, and you're that, and I'm this, and nothing to do with gender. It's just more to do with other things and philosophies and whatnot. And that's me being politically correct because I don't want to offend that person. And from there was a little bit of dishonesty that sort of crept in. Like, I'm doing my page and I do get, I suppose, a little bit of business from the group that I do, that I'm sort of admin on, but not a lot. I get most of my business from my website. So the group's there just because the group's there. I've got my website. So I've got 2-3 websites that I get most of my business from. So it's there, but I want people to. I want honesty and openness for people. Yeah, and if I've got something to say to someone, I will say it. And I generally don't think before I speak. which is why I'm rubbish at sort of influencing people, not influencing people, being friendly with people. Because like, sometimes if I'm saying something, if I've got something to say, I'll upset someone. I'll upset someone. For example, at work, when I was in ill retail, I'd upset someone. I'd say something to them like in jest or just sort yourself out with. And then about 2 hours later, or 3 hours later, or 2 days later, they're still upset about it. And I'm like, what I've forgotten about that. Then when you're angry at me, you're angry at me. No, I'm not angry at you. I forgot about it. It's done. Move on. And that's my attitude. It's done. It's in the past. Move on. Learn from it. Get better. And I learn from life. I think we all do. I think I'm more than happy to say that I don't learn from my mistakes the first time or second time, but I will learn from them eventually. I think we all do. If we don't like what happens to us as a result of behaving a certain way, then you're not going to keep behaving that way, are you? You're going to have to change. And that brings me back on to the part where I jumped at ages ago, which is learning how to be. Yeah, when you have your dad, when you have your mum, you learn how to be. You know the rights and wrongs. You learn about boundaries and stuff. I'm lucky enough, and I think I'm lucky enough to have had. It was Sheila when I was growing up, as a sort of late teenager, young adult, who taught me a lot. And I think if it wasn't for her and teaching me some bits, then I wouldn't have been able to go off and do what I did. I wouldn't have been able to go off and do what I do if my parents had been together. And that's why I wouldn't change any of my past, I suppose. I wouldn't change anything where I'm at now, because the pain that you feel lets you know that you're alive, and it gives you lessons. So you learn how to live your life and not achieve things, but get through things. Let's be honest, get through, because born into money. If you're born into money, you're going to be successful. If you're born into wealth, you're going to be successful. If you're born into and as much as I hate that, as much as I hate it, I hate it because it's in the main it's true. In the main it's true. But I think I've conquered that part myself personally, and I've broken the chain from my family and where they're at versus where I'm at are two different things. But I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm comparing myself to myself. And I always want to do better, and I always want to do more. But depending on how it's not, but saying at work, one of the first things I learned from life was it's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah. And that for me, I learned that when I was with my first ever employer. It was back in the day with Carphone Warehouse, long time ago. There were people who were right dickhead. Actually, proper, do you think I'm a dick? She's big dickheads there. And they all made fun, and they all made up to area manager, regional manager, and that sort of stuff. And I was like, oh. And then people were getting management positions and getting into head office and did it. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? They're friends with that person, friends with that person. Oh, okay, so because you're licking ass over there, and you're giving them a blowjob on the back seat, and you're incestuous for that one over there, and your husband's over there, but you're shagging him over there. So you're shagging him over there to get to your position over there. And it's like, okay, I see. And I was never very good at that. Never. In the corporate world, I'm shit. Because I just say it how it is. And that's got me into a lot of trouble over the years. But I won't change, because obviously that's me. Yeah, so I can't be something I'm not. And that's what makes me laugh. That's what makes me laugh when people band around. We've had some trolls recently. We've had some trolls. I think more than anything else, I think Vicky, and I think the work that she does is immense. And I think I get a lot of trolls, but I get we've all started getting a few trolls, and I think it goes back to what we're teaching our kids and adulthood, because they're not teenagers, are they? Who's magically contacting people and calling them narcissists and that sort of malarkey. It's like, I'm used to it because I've had it for a long time, but for it to start happening to other people, I think it's a bit harsh. I think it's a bit shit, to be honest with you. But again, it goes back to adulthood being how we treat others and whatnot. But are we really adults? Because you're going to get away with it because you're a young adult now. Because what, you're not 45 yet. You're not middle-aged, so we can act like a young adult. Okay, that's fine. So that's one thing, and that's what gets me onto this next point. Again, all interlinked. How we treat our people online or walking down the street or anything, right? It's different to how you treat someone when they're online, because the amount of shit that I get, and I can only talk about myself, you wouldn't walk down the street and you'd ignore me. Absolutely, you'd ignore me, or you'd let me pass, and you'd be like, wanker behind your back. That's what you'd be like. But you wouldn't say that some of the stuff that you say to, I say, myself or anyone else online. And I think, based on the fact that we're in this world, family law world, or father's rights world, or whatever you want to call it about, whether it's family law, private law, or public law, everyone that I interlink with, they're all a little bit damaged. Of course they are, because you've gone through traumatic experiences. Therefore, it's going to impact your emotions and psychological well-being. And that's inevitable, and that's natural. What I don't get, and I have to go, I'm going to call myself on here, call myself out. I'm going to call myself out. What I don't get, and this is something I have to keep telling myself time and time again, is everyone's not the same, and you can't expect people to be the same. And does that work? Does that work? One sec. What happens there? What's up? Doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work, does it? Does it see behind me? Let's have a look. I'm just, forgive my stupidity. I just wanted to share something. Oh, look, I'm competing with Parental Alienation UK. That's funny. I'm just, no, it's not. It's not green screen. Oh, it didn't work. It doesn't work. At least I know now. At least I know. Anyway, that's cool. So, yeah. So as adults, we are treating other people like this. Therefore, we're teaching our youngest to be like this. And this brings. We're gonna be talking about one thing I want to be setting up with someone or anyone who will do it with me is the benefits of being brought up by a narcissist. Now, I think that word is bandied around quite freely these days, and it's quite a modern word as well. Let's be honest, it's quite a modern word. People weren't saying narcissist in 1990 or 1980, so people use it like I do. I use it quite a lot. In fact, we all do. I suppose it's the world we're in. But then, if we are being honest, it's people with natural behaviours, and these behaviours are not very nice. And there's mental health issues, and you can't. But when people are calling people narcissists, it's like, well, they're not really in a position to do that, which is why I say narcissistic behaviours, because you've got behaviours that are similar to something else. I'm not calling someone a narcissist. Now, my ex-wife has a narcissistic behaviours. We all have narcissistic behaviours inside us. Anyone wants to challenge me on it? Challenge me on it. It's fine. I'm comfortable with what knowledge I have and the things that I've read with regards to narcissism. But everyone is entitled to their opinion and belief. So that's that. But look, I think there's people that people don't get along with, and there's how we treat people at the back of it. And we're teaching our kids how to be. And then people are coming to sort of protest, and they're in these groups of equality and this and that and whatever else. They want to be fair, they want to be loving. And given the opportunity, you don't. You treat people like scum. And that's a lot to take on board, because it's like people actually think that they're allowed, or they're so obnoxious and up their own arse that they're allowed to look down on other people. We all look down on people. I don't make no secret of that. Yeah, we all think, oh, I'm better than that person. Look at that fucking. But at the same point, you don't think it's excess to the point where you want to go and say something nasty to them, slag them off to the rest of the world, or everyone's going to have an opinion of everyone. But your opinion doesn't matter that much, or you might think it matters that much because you might be a leader in your group of 3 or your family, but it's not really nice. And I've done it before. Of course I have. I'm not saying I haven't, but that was when I was young. Like young, I suppose that's because I'm coming into middle age now. This is where it comes back into adulthood. So I suppose I'm getting old, and I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue, but I don't want to cause hate. Don't get me wrong, I can be a dick, and I'm very forthright when I need to be with my opinions. But that's opinions, and it's the debate when I'm talking about it. It's not like it's you. Let people be who they are, as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Anyway, that comes back to anyway. I digress again. So personality traits, right? So there's lots of different personality traits, and you can lose yourself in this shit. You really could, right? Literally, I did. I lost myself in that shit. It's a big pile of it. Like, literally, I was just fish my way out, and then I stunk of shit. I didn't really. Bad joke. But then I realised that there we are. So personality traits, different types of personality. 9, and the personality of 9. Yeah, reformer, the helper, the achiever, individualist, investigator, loyalist, enthusiast, challenger. We've all got the traits of these. We've all got parts of that inside of us. But there's elements of that when you are more powerful on a certain number, then you come across a certain way. Now, that's not fair to be like, oh, everyone's a wanker, everyone's this, everyone's that, because no one is all the time. I guarantee you, the person someone I might think is a wanker, I might think that bloke's a right dickhead or that woman's a right fool. They're going to have people that love them. Yeah, not everyone in the whole world is going to think they're a fool. But you in your little world, and I've been there. So I'm not saying I'm any big. I've done it. I've been that person. I've been that person. You there putting that someone else down, it's only because you fucking want to be that person. It's only because you're upset. It's only because you're little joke. What I don't understand is why you have to get everyone else. Why people have to go and get an army of people to go and pull someone else down. Their life must be so miserable that you want to do that. And I've been on the receiving. I'm on the receiving end of it nearly every day. I've learned to live with it, so it doesn't really bother me that much. That's why I'm quite comfortable talking about it. I look forward to the day that someone fucking comes and hates me that much, stabs me. I'd love it, or shoot me. One of the two. It'd be brilliant. Because then, they've got that much hate for you that they want to. That's when someone really hates you. But rather than really, really hate you, you might try to cause people to drive hate. Which means if you've got kids, your kids are going to be in earshot of that. Your kids are going to, they're upstairs. They can hear it. They can pick up on the vibe. Personality types. Because this is actually quite fascinating. Right? Personality is like, well, I find it quite fascinating. And when you work with sort of people and you have to assess like what they are and whatnot, and I think it's important to understand. There's apparently 16 types of personality tests. I could do a live personality test on here. I think I'm too scared to do that though, in case it comes out as something I don't like. And then people jumping all over that shit, wouldn't you? But I don't mind doing it, so I'll do it. It's all right. Shall I do it? Shall I do a personality test? Shall I do one of them? Or shall I do one of them? Am I a narcissist test? Shall I answer it honestly? That gives me the answer I don't like. I have to deal with it, I suppose. I have to deal with it. And that I shall. Now let me, I'm trying to find this. Oh, God, it's going all slow because I'm using the thing then. Personality types. Because what was fascinating is we've all got strengths, yeah? We've all got strengths, every single one of us. And every single person is a beautiful person. To love. And every single person has the ability to be nice. Do you know it takes more effort to be nasty than what it does to be nice? Yeah. And I think thanks, Barrington. Highbrow, yeah, exactly. He is very funny, actually, to be honest with you. He is very funny. It's highbrow humor, and it's not. But the thing is, not everybody gets humor, and not everyone gets everyone else's humor. So what I might find funny, and the reason I can get away with saying some of the things I get away with, is because I don't believe them. But then there's people that I've come across, and there's people that I've come across that I felt like I want to open, and I do. I'll open up to everyone. I sit on lives and say everything's about anything anyway. So it's not like do it. I'm going to do it. I'm waiting for it to load up. I'm going to do a personality test. I'm going to do it. No, assist. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it just because it's dark, highbrow humor, and my friend Barrington there says do it, so I'm going to do it. It's come up really, really bad, didn't it? 3-minute narcissistic personality disorder test. Am I a narcissist? Find out here. Oh, God. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going in. Then we'll come back to my story afterwards. Well, I can do between column. So I don't understand why people are like that naturally in terms of not being loving and caring. And I get we all have bad days. I get we do. I get it. But it's constant, man. And it's like, it's constant. It's unneeded. It's like unnecessary. That's what I'm saying. Like when Barrington says about this is humour, and my humour, and people who I get on with got the same sort of humour. And it's like, it's a joke. That's why we're saying it. Anyway, narcissistic test. It's funny. Load up. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Which statement best suits? Which statement best matches you? I have a natural talent for influencing people. I'm not good at influencing people. I'd say I wouldn't say I'm good at influencing people. Can we get some answers here? Or should I just give my answers? No, I don't think I'm good at influencing people. So I know. Which statement best matches? Oh, it's going slow. Which statement best matches you? I'm essentially a modest person. Modesty doesn't become me. Essentially a modest person. Well, yeah, what does that mean? I'm like not. I don't say I'm grandeur or brilliant or no. I think I'm quite good looking, but I wouldn't say I'm going to go with I'm essentially a modest person. That's what I'm getting. I think I know what modest means. You're very modest, are you? So modest. Oh, you're so modest. I don't know what it means, but I think that's what it is. Which statement best matches you? I would do almost anything on a dare. I tend to be a fairly cautious person. Well, I'd do anything on a dare, really, I suppose. Which statement best matches you? When people compliment me, I sometimes get embarrassed all the time. I am rubbish at taking compliments. Rubbish. The thought of ruling the world frightens me the hell out of me. If I ruled the world, it'd be a better place. No, fuck that shit. Fuck that. I would never rule the world. I don't even want to be the king of nothing. Quite happy just being my sensible self. Always answering them with us. Okay, good. I can usually talk my way out of anything. Yes, that's true. I can. I try to accept the consequences of my behaviour. Oh, but I try to accept. I do accept the consequences of my behaviour. No, I do. So yeah, I do accept I'm not perfect. I accept the consequences of my behaviour. Absolutely. I prefer to blend in with the crowd. I like to be centre of attention. I don't like being centre of attention, but I do lives. Yeah. I'm going to go with I prefer to blend in. If I'm in a room with people I don't know, then I would like to blend in. If I'm in an environment where I know people, like if I was going out for a drink with Barrington or whatever, then I'd be like, yeah, it's comfortable, it's good. Same as with James, if I go out for a drink with him, it'd be comfortable, good. Apart from when he walked out of the Reading Festival and didn't come back because his phone was he thought his phone was hacked. He went out to get it fixed and they wouldn't let him back in again. Was I upset by that for the day all the time? Yes, I was a little bit. Are we still friends? Yes, we are. Now, see? That's what it's about. Which statement best matches you? I will be a success. I am not too concerned about being a success. I will be a success. In fact, in my view, I think I already am because I've broken my chain of council estate kid and blah, 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 and I've moved up a level. I think I've got a beautiful daughter and yeah, things aren't perfect there for her or her upbringing in terms of how our relationship is with her mum, but whatever happens is going to make her hopefully a stronger and bigger and better person in the future. So yeah, I will be a success. I'm going with that. Which is me. I am no better or worse than most people. I think I'm no better or no worse than most people, or I think I'm a special person. I don't think I'm special. I'm no better or no worse. I'm the same. The next one. I am sure if I am sure if I would make a good leader. I see myself as a good leader. I'm not. Yeah, I'm a good leader. When I was running a retail shop, I'm not going to deny that. When I was retail management, yeah, I was a good leader. Yeah, I was. I got awards for it. There's awards. I got awards for it. Yeah, so of course I was a good leader. I'm assertive. I wish I were more assertive. I'm assertive, I think. Which statement best matches you? I like to have authority over. No, I don't mind following orders at all. I find it easy to manipulate people. I don't like it when I find myself manipulating people. I don't want to manipulate anyone. I insist upon getting the respect that is due to me. I usually get the respect I deserve. I usually get the respect that I deserve. That's neither of these. I don't get this. I don't always get the respect that I deserve. I usually, I suppose, is the key word there. I usually do. Well, I think that's fine. I insist upon it. No, I don't insist upon nothing. Which was the next one? I don't particularly like to show off my body. I hate my body. I fucking hate my body. And the next one is obviously I like to show off my body. I can read people like a book. People are sometimes hard to understand. I can read people. Which statement best? If I don't want to keep reading that. If I feel competent, I am willing to take responsibility for making decisions. I like to take responsibility for making decisions. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Which statement best matches you? I don't know why I said that again. I just want to be reasonably happy. I want to amount to something in the eyes of the world. No. Which statement best? Why I said that again? Why did I say that again? I'm not going to say it anymore. My body is nothing special. I like my body. No, I like to look at my body. No, definitely not. I just did it again. I try not to show off. I will usually show off if I get the chance. I try not to. I don't want people. Try not to. I mean, yeah, I can't do keep you uppies or anything like that. I was quite enjoying the time though when I was in Reading Festival and people were thinking I was Liam Gallagher. That was quite good. Which statement? I'll just say it again. I always know what I'm doing. Sometimes I am not sure of what I'm doing, and I'm sometimes, in fact, most of the times, I don't make plans. Oh my life. I sometimes depend on people to get things done. I rarely depend on anyone else to get things done. I don't depend on no one. I almost said it, but I didn't. Sometimes I tell good stories. Everybody likes to hear my stories. No, I don't really. Depends on what situation. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can. I expect a great deal from other people. I like to do things for other people. I like to do things for other people. I will never be satisfied until I get what I deserve. I take my satisfaction as a come. Yep. Which statement best? Oh, Jesus Christ. Compliments embarrass me. Yes. I like to be complimented. Everyone likes to be complimented, but that's embarrassing. I have a strong will to power. Power for its own sake doesn't interest me. Yeah, well, power doesn't really interest me. Jesus Christ. I don't care about new fads and fashions. I clearly don't. Look at what I'm wearing. I like to be new fads and fashions. No, I don't care. I said it again there. Which of the following? I like to look at myself in the mirror only when I'm telling myself I need to do better. I'm not particularly interested in looking at myself in the mirror. I like to look at myself in the mirror when I'm telling myself I'm doing better, need to do better. I'm going with that. Stop it. Which thing? I really like to be the center of attention. It makes me uncomfortable to be the center of attention. Depends on the environment, but generally it makes me uncomfortable. As he says here, doing a live. I can live my life any way I want to. People always live their lives in terms of what they want. I can live my life on how I do what I want. I'm single, no women in my life to tell me what to do. And do you know what happened to me the other day as well? Do you know what happened to me the other day? Do you know that? I started getting told off by someone I thought was my friend. She was a female. Yeah, I've been that. Don't worry about that. Being an authority doesn't mean that much to me. People always seem to get recognized by authority. No, I'm definitely not authoritarian. I am in my management style at work, but I'm not outside of work. So, I would prefer to be a leader. It makes little difference to me whether I'm a leader or not. I don't care. See, that's the thing. I don't care. People go around banning the word like narcissists and whatever. They're people who are doing this are parts of like a group. They're a leader of groups and stuff, right? They want to be leaders, and this is where the men's rights movement falls down. This is where it falls apart. Yeah, because men are full of ego, and we have trouble. I will catch up with you afterwards. We as humans, as men, we are very, very egotistical, and we struggle apparently not being leaders. And it's evident when people say leave your egos at home, and then they can't leave their egos at home. Anyway, I am going to be a great person. I hope I'm going to be a great person. I hope I'm going to be a great person. The person messaging me there is probably cursing me because he's like, "Oh, where are you?" And I'm like, I needed to do something, and I didn't do it because I didn't have the password, but I did have the password, and blah blah blah. A mistake. People sometimes believe what I tell them. I can make anyone believe anything I want. No, sometimes to tell a lie, to tell it to which statement best matches? I'm a born leader. Leadership is a quality that comes over a long period of time to develop. Yes. Statement matches you. I wish somebody would write my biography. It'd be funny if they did. I don't like people to pry into my life for any reason. I don't like it. I've been doing it all my life. I don't really like it. I get upset when people don't notice how I look and when I'm out in public. No. I don't mind blending into the crowd when I get into public. That's fine. That's me. How much more of this? I thought it was 3 minutes. Longest 3 minutes of my life. Longest 3 minutes of my life. If all 3 minutes lasted that long, geez, wouldn't it be a better timing for my ex-wives and girlfriends in bed? 3 minutes. That's a long time. So if that's how long 3 minutes is, I've got 2 more questions yet. I am more capable than other people. There's a lot more I can learn from other people always, and that's where I think I've learned loads from other people. My clients teach me, my people I talk to teach me, Vicky teaches me, everyone I talk to, everyone I interact with teaches you something. Everyone. Anyway, I'm much like everyone else. I'm an extraordinary person. I'm much like everybody else. Now we're going to get the results. The results are in. Where's my results? Oh, where's my fucking? Where's my fucking results gone? Oh, found it. Right. Okay. Before I read this out, do I really want to read this out? Shall I read it before I read it out? Basically, I've got, that's not even it. That's doing a narcissistic test. Why is it? Why the fuck? It went frozen, and now I've got, oh, you fucking wanker. All of that for nothing. Do you know what it was? It's okay. It says here. So okay, let's come up. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. Scored 0 to 12. I've scored 8. So what that means? 8. So I've 0 to little narcissism about me. Score 8 to 12 mild narcissism. 12 to 18 12 to 18 narcissistic. 18 to 20. Yeah. So that for me, unfortunately, I'm sort of mildly narcissistic, apparently. Yeah, awkward. That awkward moment. Then you don't even score it narcissism. I'm a bit upset about that. It's a bit shit. I was hoping to be a little bit mildly. A little bit. Everyone's got a little bit in them. In our self-obsessed and self-imposing culture, you don't like that at all. No, don't. It is what it is. But yeah, so that sort of rounds it up. I wasn't even going to go there, personality test, but I did, and I know that I'm fucking not even narcissistic. Bit upset about that. I suppose the message of my story, the long and short of it, is this, right? What did you get? What, Barrington? What have you got? What have you got? You're normal. You're normal. I'm normal. Oh, that's okay. Good. Thank you, Barrington. That's good to know. Thank you. Do it. It's only me. Oh, it's only you. Brilliant, brilliant. It is actually right only, but it's going out on. I think it's going out on Twitter and Twitch and other places as well. So you can only see what's on Facebook. But yeah. Funny. Made me laugh. So ultimately, long and short of it is, 50 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. 50 minutes of my life that I'm quite happy that I've done, especially for that laugh there. I suppose we've all got narcissistic traits in us. We've all got narcissistic. Not everyone's got narcissistic personality disorder. That's different. But based on my answers there, I'm quite normal. So when people band around the word narcissist and want to call me a narcissist, that's fine. I can quite happily do a test for you and send me an online check. I'll do it. And anyone, I know there's many people who are happy to do an online test. There's a fine line between madness and sanity. I think Einstein once said, didn't he? Einstein said that, and I think we're all a little bit mad. We're all a little bit crazy. I think we have to be to get through life. I think we laugh at things that we probably, some of us probably want to quiet, but then someone said it perfectly the other day. If you don't laugh, you're going to end up crying. So I just wish people would give more love, and then accept people for what they are, I suppose, and get on with life. Criticising my sideburns, I'll take it as a compliment. I do need to get it cut though, don't I? I do need to get it cut. It does need to be thinned out a hell of a lot, but I've not had a chance to do it. It's very kind of you, Barrington. You're very kind of you. I'm gonna start crying in a minute. Look, stop being nice to people, everyone. And I think it's a minority of people that want to cause hate and divide, and there's no need for it. No need, especially when we're all on the same team. Anyway, peace and love. Liar's glove. Oh, it's there now, isn't it? I just moved it. Yeah, liar's glove. And if you've just tuned in now, yeah, up there, I can see Facebook figures just jumping up a little bit. You missed it all. You've missed it all. I'm really sorry you missed everything. You have to go back and watch it all. Well worth it. I think that's everything. So I've said 9 o'clock. I've got more work to get on with. So I'm going to crack on. Speak to you all later. Peace and love. Liar's glove.